free. It's a real treat for us folks. And, of course, the grand finale tonight is the fireworks show that begins at 10 o'clock. And so it's still so early to come on down here and still have a lot of fun. Just bring a jacket. It's pretty cold.
All right, thanks, Nanette. Yeah, though it has warmed up considerably. We hope people aren't all pooped out for the Super Bowl tomorrow because there's just been so much going on all week long.
It is amazing that there's this much activity in town. And you'd think you'd run into these people without having to go to a party, if that's what you wanted to do. But, I mean, if you were just out and about.
If we don't get off this balcony, we're not going to run into anybody. Marty, so.
You and me. This is it. This is all I'm going to see.
And that's it for us right now. Thanks for watching.
We'll have another special edition of Experience the Super Bowl immediately following tonight's 11 o'clock newscast. It's really an exciting event, and it's an exciting time to be in Tampa. Until then, have a great evening.
Good night.
If you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two imposters just the same.
If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools.
Or watch things you gave your life to broken.
And stoop and build them up with worn-out tools.
If you can make one heap of all your winning and risk it on one turn of piss and fall.
And lose and start again at your beginnings.
And never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew
To serve your turn long after they're gone.
and so hold on when there is nothing in you.
Except the will which says to them, hold on.
If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue,
Or walk with kings, nor lose the common fact.
if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you,
If all men count with you, but none too much.
if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run,
Yours is the earth. And everything that's in it.
And which is more?
You'll be a man myself.
There's a look from high above the scene at Super Bowl 35. It's a monster scene, which is why that's the Monster.com blimp. The new sombrero and the old sombrero, which is now the NFL Experience. It's a special Super Bowl edition of Sunday NFL Countdown. You like what I say, that?
I love that.
Welcome, everybody, to the NFL Experience. It has been an NFL Experience. We got 3 hours to get you set for kickoff between the game. We've been predicting all year the Giants and the Ravens. Hi, everybody. All right, so we live. I'm Chris Berman. We're wearing the Britney Spears mic. Yes, we're crazy. Joining me, as always, 14 seasons in the NFL, your final game against the Giants at a Super Bowl.
That's right.
14 seasons with us at ESPN. Final game this season for Thomas Jackson. The Giants are in another Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Nothing changed. You look the same.
Well, it's just great to be here, Boom. Been a very exciting week. Somebody's going to play a game today.
Somebody could play a big defensive game today, which is killing the MVP of the Super Bowl 6 years ago in Super Bowl 29. Great to have you back with a great tie, Steve Young.
Thanks, Boomer. I found one I like. I'm going to keep it. That's it.
Just keep going to the same receiver.
I think this dirt right out here I got to know very well in the year I was at Tampa.
And you know, it wouldn't be a Super Bowl without a Sharp playing in it.
We need more Super Bowl rings. Go Shannon.
Yes, we do, don't
Yes, we do.
We have a cast of thousands with us today here, including a bevy of Pro Bowlers in the new sombrero with Stu Scott. Stu, hey, with these guys with you, you think you can even win the Stu games?
Boom, I am the Stu game today. I've got all my plays. I got run plays. I got pass plays. I got plays for the defense. On a field voted on by the players the best in the league, I am joined by the best. 62 touchdown passes over the last 2 years. Kurt Warner. Kurt, thanks for being with us.
No problem. If I can't play on this field, the next best thing is me next to you on it.
You hate being here, say, don't you?
Yes, I do.
As Chris Carter hates being here, Mr. 1,020 catches.
forget about the other teams everybody's talking about. I like the team that I have right here.
And Warren Sapp is just grumpy because he wanted to be playing here. Mr. Hometown Man, come on, Warren. Just
I brought my pads inside, and I got them in there. I'm going to suit up for somebody today.
Warren said it is still his time. We will hear from these guys shortly, but first, send it over to Mike Tirico at Harbor Island. Mike, if you got any Pro Bowlers, man, send them this way because I got them all with me.
All I have is Morton, to be honest with you, truth be told. Thanks, Stu. We're down here at Harbor Island. Downtown Tampa's starting to heat up, a little bit of the energy back here, and we'll have a lot of the stories during the week that we've seen. Chris Mortensen joins us. Morty, you missed the guys?
Well, even though Sterling is only a few miles away, with or without a microphone, I know I'll be able to hear him today.
Yes, you will. We'll be joined here by Andrea Kramer as some of the great stories of Super Bowl week, and also Susie Colbert, Merrill Hodge, and Ron Jaworski, the Edge NFL matchup crew, going to use coaches' film to show us some of the keys to the game. Just part of the menu. Boom, back to you with the experience.
Michael, we are so close yet so far, but it would be great to have all. We are family. We got all our sisters and brothers with me. Have fun, and Mort, all for 3 hours. Good luck to you. All right, guys, thank you very much. And it is fitting that we are sitting here at the NFL Experience because this was once the hallowed ground of the Big Sombrero, site of the previous 2 Super Bowls played here in Tampa. 10 years ago, perhaps the best Super Bowl game of the previous 34, Giants 20, Bills 19, a game that began with Whitney Houston and ended by cementing the legend of Bill Parcells, LT, and the G-Men, and it started the different legend and the tenacity, though, of the Buffalo Bills. Alas, the Bills lost, Jim. 17 years ago, it was the Raiders all over the Redskins 38-9 in a game that will be forever remembered for Marcus Allen's run and Jack Squirick's stunning interception, Joe. Today, we move across the street to the new Sombrero and perhaps a bit of football history. The Baltimore Ravens have allowed a mere 181 points in their 12-4 regular season, and you tack on the 3 playoff wins, which is still less than the previous record for fewest points allowed in a 16-game season. If they can pitch one more defensive gem, they'll go down as one of the best defensive units of all time. Standing in their way, the New York Football Giants, hoping their Tampa Gasparilla good luck vibes continue from a decade ago. They had plenty of good vibes, all right, when they smashed the Vikings 41-0 in the NFC title game 2 weeks ago. Yet, despite the fact they're from the media center known as the Big Apple, the Ravens that are getting the headlines this week, and the Ravens that are the 2.5, 3-point favorites going into the game. Let's join our Sal Palantonio with the Giants. Sal, does anyone know the Giants are at the hotel?
Oh, it's a very quiet morning here, Chris. Jim Fossil has given the players off all morning. He told his players, hey, sleep in. There'll be a chapel service if you want to go. There's a brunch available for the players. But he said, listen, take some time with your thoughts. Think about the biggest game of your life. This is a very healthy team. Earlier in the week, starting right tackle Luke Pettigrew sprained his ankle. He's fine. So did Cornelius Griffin, the young defensive end from Alabama. He had a little bit of an ankle sprain, but he's fine too. Tiki Barber's now wearing a titanium shield on that fractured left forearm, but Jim Fossil told me last night that he is leaning heavily towards giving Tiki some punt returns today for the first time in the postseason. Now for a report on the Baltimore Ravens, let's go to Ed Werder.
Well, Sal, here at the Ravens Hotel, some players are going through some last-minute meetings with their positional coaches. They began with a defensive lineman about an hour ago. But last night, Brian Billick had his last full team meeting. And what he tried to do was convince his players they belonged in this game and at the same time connect them to the history of the Super Bowl. So he showed them a 3-minute video presentation with music that included some of the great plays from this season, as well as a clip from each of the previous 34 Super Bowls, an enduring image. And then he closed with a powerful message. He told them, hey, there are very few mornings where you wake up and know your life will never be the same again. This is one of them. Art Modell has shown his appreciation for those responsible for getting him to the Super Bowl for the first time. He's left a gift of the day in their rooms as they've returned from practice each day. One day a digital video camera, another day a CD player. The bet among the players today, Chris, is that they'll get a DVD player. But I spoke to Rob Burnett, and he said, when I come back to my room after the game, all I want to find is a little Lombardi trophy.
That's very interesting, Ed. Our senior coordinating producer, Bob Roush, has left similar gifts to us all week long. We really appreciate that, Bob. Back to Ed and Sal all morning and afternoon long at the team hotels. A quarter century ago, when some of us were young men, football was played defense first, and if you had some offense, let's make a few plays and let's win games. Well, we have come full circle to the way the Pittsburgh Steelers used to play it, or the Miami no-name defense, and those sort of teams. We've come full circle, Steve. love this, don't you?
Yeah, but these great defenses carry some offense.
Yeah, right.
You know, think about football is over as we know it. Now, why I say that is the Ravens have completely smashed three of the best AFC offenses the last 3 weeks in the playoffs. And if this might be the full fruition of free agency, everybody knows that it's much easier to play defense when you throw a team together every season than it is to play offense. And maybe a lot of general managers around the league will say, hey, let's be the Ravens. Let's pay Ray Lewis and Peter Bulwer whatever they want. And maybe the likes of Randy Moss and Dante Culper, offensive stars, maybe that's not the way to go because the Ravens were proving that you can go all the way with just the defense.
Well, allow me to play the
Go
role.
all the way. What are you doing?
They are all the way. Allow me to play the role of Swami at least for one morning.
The role's available.
Yes, right. When we got to midseason and the Rams and the Vikings were rolling offensively, the Rams scoring 43 points a game, I said eventually you have to bring your defense. Now, you have the Ravens with one of the great defenses of all time. You have the Giants, the second-best rush defense in football. So when I said eventually, I met 618 this afternoon when they meet for the Super Bowl.
And what you have is two offenses that must show aggressive control, and that means going after the other team. That means understanding that the punt is your friend, that is not turning the football over. What you have to show is exude confidence that if you have to, you can drive the football 80 yards. But on defense, you must show that same confidence that you cannot put the ball in the end zone.
Right. You love the quarterbacks today, don't you?
Yes, I do. I picked the Ravens to go in July, and they're here, boom, they're here.
You love them.
But Tony, thanks.
Yeah, well, I picked the Ravens. I didn't pick the quarterback. I picked the Ravens.
I tell you what, they've done it a different way, but they have made believers out of all of us. And Stu, I think the Pro Bowlers and last year's MVP of the Super Bowl, the gentleman with you, I think these teams, especially the Ravens defense, have made believers out of them too.
Ravens made believers out of everyone, Boom, but it's interesting that we have come so far in just a year because last year it was the year of the offense. Kurt Warner, 414-yard Super Bowl record, one of 18 QBs who've been Super Bowl MVP. Now, this time last year, 10 minutes after 11 Eastern, Super Bowl day, what is going on in your mind?
Well, you know, I was cool, calm, and collected. I was up in my hotel room, you know, kind of looking into the mirror, practicing my words, you know, for after the game, you know. I'm going to Disney World. I'm going to Disney World. No, but seriously.
No, you were serious.
You pop on the TV, you know, you want to see a little of what's going on. You want to hear what they're saying, and you don't want to hear what they're saying. I'm not a big fan of night games, so I was trying to do everything I could to get the day to go faster. I tried to lay down and take a nap. All I did was roll around. The nerves started flowing. I was playing out every scenario in my head. You know, I just couldn't wait for game time. And, you know, I rolled around for a while. Then I got up. I paced a little bit and got down to the stadium as soon as I could. Felt great until I got in that tunnel when it was about time for them to announce my name. Was shaking a little bit. The nerves started flowing, but then it was game time, and all that went away. What do you think, Chris?
Well, see, my last Super Bowl experience, the last 3 Super Bowl experiences, have been doing NFL primetime, and I'm sick of doing the show. I mean, it's a great show, but I'm sick of doing it. Next year in New Orleans, I'm putting on my uniform. I'm not working for ESPN, and I'm going out there and playing some football, too.
No time for Chris Carter in New Orleans. Now, interestingly, Warren Sapp all year, I'm sure that you figured that you would be here playing on this field the first time a home team ever played a game in its home field in its Super Bowl. Didn't quite work out like that. When the Eagles beat you all in the postseason, did you think to yourself, there's no way I'm going to go to that game?
Oh, I always know I wouldn't be going to that ball game because there's no way you walk into my house and watch 2 other people play in my house. That's just not going to happen. But, you know, we just didn't play real well. But, you know, it's one of those things like Chris said. He's got to come through me to get to that Super Bowl in New Orleans. And the Ravens stole our formula how to do it with a great defense and a little bit of offense and some special teams. But we're going to see if that recipe works a year from now.
Everybody's talking about this is the year the defense, the Ravens allowed 10.3 points per game. This is an offensive crew right here. Everybody, because 10 years ago, this man, high school All-American tight end, right down the road at Apopka High School, 10 years and, what, 20, 30 pounds ago?
About 100 pounds ago.
Mike, we got the entire offensive scheme here, man.
Yeah, and Stu, it is Warren's house, but today it's his old teammate Trent Dilfer's stage. Since Dilfer became the starter, the Ravens are averaging 23 points per game, and more today, maybe it's not how many points are scored, but when they're scored.
That's right, and I really believe that the first team to get to a 10-point lead wins this football game. Not encouraging anybody to turn off their television set if that happened, but I've got history on my side as well. Only once in Super Bowl history has the team spotted an opponent a 10-point lead and won the game. That was the Washington Redskins against the Denver Broncos in Super Bowl 22. And now you take these 2 great defenses, and they are great defenses, playing against each other. Hey, a mistake here, a mistake there early in the game can cost their team a game. By the way, Sterling did pick the Ravens in July. Yes. Doesn't count because his brother is playing on the team. However, if my memory serves me right, I think he picked the Ravens to lose the Super Bowl game.
Just a point of reference Mort brings up. Onus is on the offense here today, Chris, and they're both led by first-round draft picks. The last time that happened, Super Bowl 28, Troy Aikman and some guy named Jim Kelly.
That is interesting, Michael, though it is also interesting to know only the second time ever that neither quarterback is a Pro Bowl quarterback. It happened in Super Bowl 5. That's happening in Super Bowl 35. But Super Bowl 5 was one that went right down to the end of the field goal by Jim O'Brien of the Baltimore Colts. Baltimore, all sorts of omens. We're just hitting the tip of the iceberg on our 3-hour Super Sunday NFL Countdown.
We're just getting started on the Super Bowl edition of NFL Countdown. Just how good is Ray Lewis? We asked a Hall of Fame linebacker to break down the Ravens' man in the middle. Kerry Collins has been called a bust and a quitter. How did he win over his teammates to lead them to football's biggest game? And players beware. The NFL fashion police are patrolling the sidelines.
Get 28. Sack now.
They're looking for illegal uniforms, and the players don't like it.
This is not a democracy here. This is a totalitarian dictatorship.
On Super Bowl Sunday, 2 weeks to prepare this year. That is not the case for the next 2 Super Bowls. 2 weeks of preparation. With 2 weeks for the coaches to look at game film. Susie Colbert with these other guys.
These other guys.
Introduce these guys.
Mike, the tape jockeys are here. The tape jockeys are ready to roll.
Your segment, go ahead. Your segment, go ahead.
Merrill Hodge, Ron Jaworski, and it might be 2 weeks maybe to agonize over some of the weaknesses. And for the Ravens, it's been protecting Trent Dilfer. They have a tough time picking up the blitzes. As a result, he's been sacked 7 times in the playoffs in the first 2 playoff games. Tagged so hard he was forced to leave the game for a number of plays. And Michael Strahan has said if that's their weakness, it's going to be a long day because that's what the Giants love to do is blitz. They blitzed Dante Culpepper 4 times in the NFC Championship.
Well, those facts don't bode well for the Ravens' offensive line and their backs who have to pick up pass protection because John Fox, the defensive coordinator of the Giants, loves to attack. He's very aggressive, and he has a very quick and speedy defense, so he can do a lot of different things. And people love to talk about the offensive coordinator and his play-calling abilities. Well, you can switch that over to the defense just as well. You've got to anticipate. You've got to be studious in when you anticipate what they're going to do. And John Fox, with his zone blitz schemes, can really break down your offensive blocking schemes.
This is the first play of the second half. The Vikings come out in a 4-wide look with a bunch set to the left. Here's left end Michael Strahan. In the first half, he dominated Vikings Pro Bowl right tackle Corey Stringer. The Giants, anticipating back Robert Smith, helping on Strahan, will blitz safety Sean Williams from the 3-receiver side. Williams will get in clean, forcing a Culpepper fumble, and that stirring Vikings comeback was over before it could get started. From the end zone camera, you'll see the real genius behind defensive coordinator John Fox's halftime adjustment. He correctly anticipated that the Vikings would give Stringer help on Strahan with back Robert Smith. He also knew how the Vikings would block Griffin, Hamilton, and Jones. The guards and left tackle Todd Stussy would man block, leaving center Matt Burke to work out to the first blitz threat coming off the corner. Fox, knowing this, has tackle Keith Hamilton attack Burke at the snap, forcing Burke to block him. In theory, guard Corbin Lucina now is responsible for the outside blitz threat, which is Williams. With Cedric Jones rushing hard to the inside, Lucina is immediately threatened. Williams has the short corner and a clean-shotted Culpepper. This was outstanding defensive design, great understanding of your team's strengths and your opponent's limitations.
Although the Giants blitz a high percentage of the time, they're safe blitzes, normally zone blitzes, where you keep the safety in center field. So if Trent Dilfer does read the blitz and he gets a completion, it won't be the big play that's for a touchdown. It'll be a short game just to move the chains. So what I look for in this game, really, you look about those matchups up front. You got Harry Swain and Michael Strahan. I think what you see is Foxy try to rush the quarterback with 4 early. Then if he can't get pressure, then he'll come with the zone blitz scheme.
Well, he's probably going to have to blitz with the schemes because the Ravens also, Michael Strahan is going to be outstanding. That's why I think what they do to Michael Strahan is they put a tight end over there at times. They run a back to him at times.
They do a lot of things to occupy Michael Strahan's mind during the course of the game. They're not going to occupy a short corner and allow him to get to the quarterback. And then John Fox, the defensive coordinator for the Giants, is simply the best in football at bringing a balanced pressure package to the game. He can attack any formation, anywhere on the field, without leaving his defense exposed for a big play. That is why he is so outstanding as a defensive coordinator.
And that means Jamal Lewis will be the foundation of the Ravens offense.
The factor, man.
I love it, baby. Can't have a show without that word coming out.
And let's just go back to Sean Williams for a moment, who is in your playbook. Some questions about his hamstring earlier in the week, but he's good to go, should play the whole game. A little reunion between he and Shannon Sharp back in '98. The Broncos were undefeated. They took on the Giants. He shadowed Shannon Sharp, not only kept him out of the end zone, had the game-saving interception, got the game ball. So he had a little confidence level going in.
And very versatile is Sean Williams.
Yes. About 15 minutes from now on Sunday NFL Countdown, something you don't want to miss. Never-before-seen footage of Ray Lewis addressing his teammates for the first time this past training camp. Stay tuned.
Still to come on Countdown. For 6 seasons, Trent Dilfer called Tampa home. Now, he's back on familiar ground for the biggest game of his life. Sterling talks to the Raven QB about coming full circle and his future in Baltimore.
I've made a decision that significance is more important than self-gratification.
To all you gladiators who pulled together towards one goal for the last 6 months, I say to you, so what? That's right, so what? You satisfied with a little division title, a sterling win-loss record, the respect of your peers? Or are you just hungry enough to go out there and show me something? One more time!
Let's go inside the numbers, or inside the Buccaneers. After being drafted by the Bucs, Trent Dilfer spent 6 seasons in Tampa. Today he'll lead the Ravens against the Giants in Super Bowl 35, ironically in the city where he began his career. While the Bucs have yet to reach the Super Bowl in their 25 NFL seasons, 4 former Tampa Bay quarterbacks have reached the big game by themselves. Along with Dilfer, Doug Williams, our own lefty Steve Young, and Chris Chandler have all played in the Super Bowl. Just 2 years ago in Miami, Chandler guided the Atlanta Falcons against the Broncos in Super Bowl 33. Chandler was intercepted 3 times in a 34-19 loss to the defending Super Bowl champs. In Super Bowl 29, Young not only captured MVP honors against the Lightning Bolts, but he threw for 325 yards and a Super Bowl record preposterous 6 touchdown passes in a 49-26 romp. As the first former Buck to play on Super Sunday, Doug Williams started off slow, but then he lit up the Broncos for 340 yards and 4 scores in Super Bowl 22. The Redskins quarterback was named the MVP in the 42-10 win in San Diego. And here we are in the hallowed grounds of the old sombrero, the big sombrero, right here at the NFL Experience. The good folks in Tampa said what they thought was good riddance to quarterback Trent Dilfer a year ago, after it was clear to them, fairly or not fairly, clear to the fans, that despite playing for a team with a stellar defense, he was not the man to take the Buccaneers to the Super Bowl. Now, a year later, you heard Warren Sapp say it before, Dilfer has done just that, taking a team with a stellar defense to the Super Bowl here at the new sombrero. Sterling, Dilfer is 10-1 as a starter since replacing Tony Banks, yet the locals are expecting him to make that pass or two. Britney Spears with this microphone in the belly ring is going to sing sing for us at halftime. They're waiting for Trent to throw a pass, and the whole stands are going to go, oops, he did it again.
Here's what has happened to Trent Dilfer this year. And, with all the previous quarterbacks, the Steve Youngs, the Brett Favres, the John Elways, and the Troy Aikmans, we have gotten spoiled with quarterbacks throwing the football around for great yardage and great touchdowns. Enter Trent Dilfer, 7 straight games with less than 200 yards passing, only 23 of 48 completions in the playoffs, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. What Trent has proven to all of us, and especially to me, is he's in touch with his team. He's in touch with his game, and most importantly, he's in touch with his emotions.
I allowed myself for 3 minutes on media day. I stood about the 20-yard line in the north end zone, and I looked around, and I said, wow, that's pretty cool.
No matter how far, couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trust New York, and nothing else matters.
I looked around where my family used to sit. I looked where I had a group of kids that I used to pay to go to games sat. And I had this one lady that I was a big fan where she sat. She'd always give me a high five and, the whole thing. And then I said, you know what, that's enough.
Do you have flashbacks about coming back to Tampa, like, I'm making this play or similar play that I made when I was a Buccaneer?
Well, let's hope I don't make some of the plays I made.
No, only the good ones. Only the good ones.
Never opened myself this way. Life is eyes riveted our way. Hold these words I just say, and nothing else matters.
I've had enough bad things said about me that I've learned just people have the right to say those things. Many of the things they've said have been partially true. You just move on and you be the best you can be. And what you do is you be what you can be for your team. And you earn their respect, and you just become a ball player. And you're a pro, and you go to work, and you look in there and you say, you know what? I'm going to war for you. And that's what I can promise you. I can't promise you anything else.
And I find in you every day's for us something new. Find it for different you, and nothing else matters.
It's tough for anyone, I would think, to go through what you've gone through and have the success and not go, I told you this was going to happen, or I expected this to happen. How do you do it?
I can answer that because I've thought about it. I've made a decision that significance is more important than self-gratification. I want their lives to be better because they had the opportunity to play with me. Not as a football player, but a guy that would sit with them and talk to them about their problems.
It has been said or written or stated that you may not be with this football team next year. How does that make you feel with you and about to lead this team into the biggest game of this franchise's history?
When I hear it, obviously it hurts a little bit because you don't know why it's coming or where it's coming from. If I start thinking about where I'm going to be next year, it's only going to take away from what I'm going to do Sunday. Last year looked pretty bleak in free agency. It turned out all right. I believe what will happen this year will turn out all right, too.
Trent Dilfer is only averaging 17 attempts in the playoffs throwing the football, but Brian Billick, his head coach, is truly an offensive genius, not for what he did in Minnesota with Chris Cross and Chris Carter, Randy Moss, and Robert Smith, but for what he did for Trent. And as Trent put it, he can win with Trent Dilfer playing quarterback.
Trent said that.
That's what Trent said. So it is truly, it's nice to see a story like this where a guy gets to come back to a team that allowed him to go somewhere else and have this kind of success.
And no doubt he's handling it very maturely. And in his favor is the last four quarterbacks to wear number 8 in the Super Bowl ended up being champions. But Trent is very eerily comfortable with this 5 completions a game. And this is the only offense I've ever seen that went this deep in the playoffs that was gleeful at a punt as if it was a successful drive. Now, the real question I have about today is, will Brian Billick finally on the international stage leave the dark side for a few moments, lose his mind, and say, Trent Dilfer is going to throw my way to the championship? I think his tendency will be to try that. We'll wait and see.
Well, Steve, I don't think that he can do that because the formula for success is obvious. You don't do a whole lot with this offense. And I think that when you look at Trent Dilfer and you look at the game plan, what you see, quick outs, quick slants, hitches, flares, nothing thrown down the football field that could result in a turnover. And it really is a tribute, Mort, to Brian Billick and his ability to adjust. This guy got the job with the Ravens because of his offensive prowess. That dark side that Steve just talked about, I think he's stuck right there.
Well, I still think it's a little bit painful to Brian Billick. We almost forget that, hey, the Ravens offense, number 5 rushing offense in football, 33 minutes plus time of possession, second in the NFL. So those are still things that offense can hang its hat on. But, when you have 2 weeks to prepare for this game, I just have to believe that ego does get in the way. I think Brian Billick's ego, Trent Dilfer's ego, maybe it puts the game at risk, especially if they fall behind a little bit early, Stuart.
I tell you what, Mort, 6 years here in Tampa, Trent Dilfer threw 70 touchdowns and 80 interceptions. That means 80 times that man had to get back on the field earlier than he had planned on getting back on the field. As a defensive guy, how do you deal with the quarterback throwing interception after interception after interception?
Well, the thing about Trent Dilfer was he did it at the wrong time sometimes. But, you just have to do it. And the one thing about a great defense is you put that in your mind that if my quarterback don't mess it up, we're going to put him in a position where he can go out and score some points for us. And and we can go out and win this game. But the one thing that you got to do with Trent Dilfer is don't ask him to go out and throw the ball 40 times to win a ball game for you. And if he doesn't do that, he'll be all right. And then we're going to go to Kurt, who's a great quarterback that throws it about 90 times a game.
Well, that's the way we like it, Warren.
Kurt Warner, Roger Staubach, Joe Montana, Steve Young. I mean, all these great quarterbacks who have won Super Bowls. Trent Dilfer is in the Super Bowl. Does it sound weird to even say that as a Super Bowl winning quarterback?
Well, not really. I think Trent has done a great job of separating himself from what he was here at Tampa Bay. The #1 pick, the guy with all the high expectations, had to come in here and win football games by himself. When he left here, I think that left with him. He went to Baltimore and understood, hey, I don't have to live up to those expectations. I have to go in. I have to learn my job. I understand I have a defensive football team, and that my job is to go out, make the plays that are there to be made, but don't do anything out of the ordinary. Don't have to live up to those high expectations that we're going to win football games otherwise.
Interesting. Warren Sapp, a.k.a. Russell Baxter, our research guru. Warren said in the break, he said 9.59. I said, what's that? He said Trent's completions in the playoffs, 9.59. Still, though, we've said it all week. His last 15 starts, he is 14-1 as a starter. You can't beat winning.
Ahead on Countdown. The last time the Super Bowl was in Tampa, Scott Norwood's kick went wide right, making the Giants chance. 10 years later, the former Bills kicker talks about his life since that fateful day. And 2 weeks ago, the G-Men shut down Randy Moss and company. So what does the Big Blue D have in store for Baltimore?
We don't need to be heralded as the best. We don't, I don't care about that. I think for us, all the personal stuff is out the window. This is all about us together, winning. Winning's #1 thing. And if we win this, people will recognize, and that's all that matters, is to have that ring on our fingers, and you can call us whatever you want to call us after that. And get shot at you.
G-Man, how did they turn around the defense? Well, from last year where they missed the playoffs, and again, a non-winning team, 2 teams with non-winning records, just like we had last year into the Super Bowl. They've allowed over 100 less points, the yards per game under the 300 mark, and that starts to be a real litmus test right there. And rushing yards allowed to barely over 70 yards a game. So obviously, the Giants defense made big steps, and I think this year they did it game after game after game. And I want to bring in Chris Carter, because all he does is catch 1,000 passes, but all he does is get shut out in the championship game by the Giants. Chris, did they play defense better than you thought that they had? And if so, what do you now know about them that's going to give the Ravens fits today?
Well, one thing that we all realize it's almost impossible to be able to shut out our offense. But also, if you realize in that game, when the offense touched the field, when Dante Culpepper, Randy Moss, Robert Smith, and the great offense we have, when we touched the field, the score was 14-0 already at that time. And you're talking about an NFC championship game. So those are obstacles that are hard to overcome. The difference between the Giants defense this year and the Giants defense in the past is this year they're not giving up a lot of points. And they're shutting down the running game, not totally like Baltimore, but they're only giving up 70-plus yards a game. That's 2 less first downs. That's less time on the field. That's giving their offense more opportunities and better field position. But they have done an effective job, especially with their defensive coordinator, John Fox, every week scheming for their defense against their opposition.
Hey, Chris, and the one thing that you look at that Giant defense, they're not as physical as a lot of people talk about. And I went back and studied a common opponent of theirs, which is the Tennessee Titans. And what Tennessee did to the New York Giants, Eddie George ran the football downhill on them. They had 4 drives of 80-plus yards or more. Tennessee was just more physical than them. And, yes, this was pre-guarantee, of course. But the Baltimore Ravens play that same style. Physical offensive line, big physical back, love to run downhill at you. So it'll be interesting to see how the Giants handle that mentality of 30-plus carries from Jamal Lewis.
Yeah, but Sterling, even though the Ravens are a physical offense, one time in the last 40 drives that the Ravens have started, they've had more than 2 first downs. Stats like that will catch up to you sooner or later. Fortunately for the Ravens, it might not be till next year, but that is not much offense. The good news for the Giants is John Fox has, as Merrill talked about, the blitz combination, the blitz package, because with those, if they're not going to sustain those drives, they're going to have to throw the football, and John Fox is going to take advantage of what I think is the weakest part of their line right up the middle.
It's just killing you the way the Ravens win. It's destroying Steve Young. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, that the Giants are able to do what they have been able to do for most of the season, which is stop their opponent from running the football. Then the matchup at the line of scrimmage will become Michael Strahan on Harry Swain. After Ray Lewis, Michael Strahan is the most dominant defensive player on the field. His ability to force his opponent to give help, either chipping with the back, bringing the tight end to his side, anything to stop him from getting to your quarterback, is the adjustment that they would be forcing the Ravens to make. He has 3 sacks, 6 tackles, 1 forced fumble thus far in the playoffs. If he can have a dominant day, it means Jamal Lewis is not controlling the football game.
He took Runyon of the Eagles and did this, right? He took Corey Stringers and did
That's
this.
right.
He's got Harry Swain today, so you would think that he would have a good day. And you know what people forget about the Giants defense? The 2 playoff wins, 2010, 41-0, 150 yards per game allowed, 10 first downs allowed. Those are numbers better than the Ravens.
That's right. That's
so,
right.
I mean, dig in here.
That's
This is
right.
World War I. We're going to move the trench forward about 2 feet today, and then the next quarter we're going to move it 2 more feet, and we're going to see what's going to happen. Defense to carry the day. Now, we are here up until 2 o'clock Eastern time. Do not go away, because coming up next, never-before-seen footage of Ray Lewis addressing his teammates for the first time this summer after he went through what he did all through the court scenario. That's coming up next here on Sunday NFL Countdown.
Still the Come On Countdown. Ray Lewis's intensity and passion make him Defensive Player of the Year. But where will he rank among football's great linebackers? And fashion in the NFL. The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Could we get him a bigger towel? They got a beach towel. It's a fashion statement, you know. Really rebellious guys, huh?
Ray Lewis, all the players really, despite their intense focus, surely can't help but have their minds wondering how their lives will change with what happens on Super Bowl Sunday. And boy, how Ray Lewis's life changed last year after the Super Bowl. Let's review the facts of what happened. Charged with 2 counts of murder, Lewis was never tried for that. Those charges were dropped. Instead, Lewis pleaded guilty to a misdemeanor charge of obstruction of justice in return for his testimony against the 2 men who were acquitted. This week, the best player on either side of the ball stepped onto the biggest stage in sport, and it really turned into one of the Super Bowl's biggest off-field stories, starting with his coach and the aggressive words to the media on Monday.
As much as some of you want to, we are not going to retry this. It's inappropriate, and you're not qualified. Ray will address this tomorrow in the way he sees fit, and that will be the end of it in terms of our conversation regarding it.
The thing is, and the scary part about life is, yeah, I got money. Yeah, I'm black. And yeah, I'm blessed. But at the same time, let's find out the real truth. The real truth is this was never about those 2 kids that's dead in the street. It's about Ray Lewis. And that's the same thing this is about. And that's not right for nobody. Don't be mad at me because I was on center stage. The person to be mad at is the Paul Howard, the mayor of Atlanta. The people who never said one time, we're going to find out who killed these people. They said, we're going to get Ray Lewis. And Ray Lewis was never the guy.
You know what we got? We got the Defensive Player of the Year. And I just wish all the media, all 2,700 of you all, would print him being Defensive Player of the Year, him being the best football player in the entire NFL with the same passion, with the same prejudice as you run that. The same, that's all they ask. Give him a fair shake. We can't get none of that. They ran it over and over and over and over again about the orange coveralls on TV. The man couldn't comb his hair in shackles and leg irons. Give him the same kind of press about being Defensive Player of the Year. Give him the same kind of press with being the Player of the Year. He is the best player in football right now, today. I don't know what he's going to be 10 years from now, but I'm talking about today. He is the best player in football, bar none. Whether you like him or not, whether you respect him or not, you can't argue with the man's talent.
Powerful, heartfelt, and meaningful words throughout the week. Andrea Kramer joins us now, and talk about Brian Billick, who started all of this on Monday, a coach who uses his words and really the words of others for setting the tone and the mood for his team.
Yeah, Mike, Brian Billick loves to bring speakers in to address his players. In fact, on Friday after practice, Hall of Fame running back Jim Brown addressed the Ravens. Brown's speech brought the team full circle since he first spoke to them back in training camp when one of his main messages was about accountability. Brown's style is to be inclusive, so back in August, he asked 3 players to speak. Priest Holmes, Shannon Sharp, and Ray Lewis. The players were not aware that Brown's speech was being recorded, but with Lewis and the Ravens' permission, here is Lewis's first address to his entire team following his turbulent offseason.
I want to thank you, Ray, for the way that you lead and the way that you play the game, big guy. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. I've been here close to 2 days right now, right? And I talked to everybody. From the top to the bottom, they said that this man, work ethics and his leadership and his talent is impeccable. But that comes from your fellow players, it comes from your owner, it comes from the consultants. I come and say simply, man, I respect that. Because whenever your star players can stand for that, baby, you can win it all. So you take it over now, Ray.
No, it's mine. As well as a privilege, it's my pleasure just to be standing next to someone who set the standards for us for today's game. I've watched many films of Mr. Jim Brown, as well as many more, who's a real close friend of mine. It's just, I have chills going through my spine right now, no matter what I do on the field, what these guys have did on the field way before my time. But you know, the thing about it now is, we all here know what I've been through, so it don't matter. I think it's about what we can do now. I think it's up to us. Because, you know, everybody said, how's Ray doing, how's Ray doing? It's not about Ray. It's about my family. It's about when I walked up out of a courtroom, I didn't care about nothing else. Because I had everybody else around me. Shannon picked me up every day. I didn't have no problems. I didn't worry about court. All I was worried about was helping my team get to the Super Bowl. Helping my team take everything else and put it aside for 20 games, 22 games, 24 games. Put everything else on the back burner and realize I was faced with 4th and life. In this game, we on the face with 4th and 1. It's easy for us to handle. I did. But it's up to us now. It's a standard we got to set. It's about family. When they talk about family, Art Modell stood up for me. Not because of Ray Lewis played football, because I love him. I can be a man to say that. Brian Billick stood up for me. Marvin Lewis stood up for me. Jack Del Rio couldn't even look me in my eye because he felt my pain. But my focus was to help my team do something that nobody's expecting us to do right now. Yeah, everybody's saying we good. Yeah, we got Shannon, we got Ben. Oh, well, what about Priest? We had him last year. Priest still here. What about Tony? What about the guys who done changed their whole focus?
Mm-hmm.
What are we trying to do? It's a burning inside that's been burning me to talk to y'all anyway, but Mr. Brown giving me that opportunity. When I first came back, Brian said, do you want to speak? I said, no, because the time wasn't right. My heart was going through too much other stuff. But I knew every day, and Shannon will tell you this, I drew tears almost every day because walking out of court didn't matter to me. When I was squeezing that tennis ball, I was just trying to find another way to make a different play on Sunday. My goal was, that's what my fire was. When I walked back into this camp, I told Shannon I was in the best shape ever. Not for me. It don't matter about me no more. I done been to the Pro Bowls. I done been linebacker yet. None of that matters. I need to get to Tampa. Now.
Thank you, baby.
Oh, yeah.
According to players and coaches, this passionate speech epitomized Lewis's leadership and was at the heart of the team's chemistry. In fact, head coach Brian Billick told me he thought this brought closure to the issue for Lewis, that a lot of the players did not want to go up and speak to Lewis directly about it, so this brought the closure that he needed. And Mike, the fact that back in August, Ray Lewis is imploring his team to get to Tampa, he looked pretty prophetic, didn't he?
Absolutely, and seeing that, I think we understand why the Ravens have dealt with this all season, and especially this week the way they have, because they dealt with it in-house as one, and that's why the message went forth so strong here this week. Chris, back to the experience, they've dealt with it all season, and we see now, we hadn't seen before, they dealt with it in preseason in August as well.
That is enlightening, to say the least. Mike and Andrea, your efforts to get that here to share it with America, really, or we thank you for that. And I think, Tommy, it does, as Mike and Andrea say, we have a much better understanding of why the Ravens, maybe all year, and why the Ravens have said and acted in certain ways this week and during the playoffs, et cetera. Let me put you in a Ravens. Let's say you're playing for the Ravens.
Yes.
And after everything comes to Ray Lewis gets up and if from Jim Brown
Yes.
says that to you and you're a teammate, you're a starting player on the defense, let's say. What do you feel as a Ravens teammate?
Well, you are certainly riveted emotionally to what Ray is saying to you and what he has gone through, and I think certainly it brought his circumstances home to his teammates. But I think more importantly than it is your actions. How do you impact this football team? Ray not only asked them to get him to Tampa, he basically put them on his back, and he brought them here. And I think so when you look at what he has gone through, how he treated it, you see him now as a human being with his teammates. I think certainly this is a situation that he has handled maybe as well as anybody could have.
Well, we see a bond that we've obviously seen on the field. You don't play defense like that and don't have some sort of intrinsic bond with your teammates, but there's a bond maybe in that locker room that helps further explain why Ray said he needed to get to Tampa and why his teammates said, all right, babe, you help take us there, and we'll help take you there. So
he's been the glue.
Well, and I tell you what, he's got a lot of support with him. So the Ray Lewis, that's what he said in August. He wanted to get to Tampa. They're here right now. They backed him up, as he asked last summer. We'll be back.
Ahead on Countdown, Jason Sehorn's come a long way. Back from 2 knee injuries to being the Giants' big play man down the stretch. His story is coming up. And Jim O'Brien's kick made the Colts Super Bowl champions. 10 years ago, Scott Norwood's kick sent Buffalo home a loser. One the hero, one the GOAT. How did it affect their lives?
I still kind of refuse to think about what it would have been like had I missed it.
What's become America's pastime, football. Another true reminder that Super Sunday is in many ways a national holiday, as America was galvanized by the patriotic symbols that included the memorable Whitney Houston national anthem. As we all seem to watch together, a nation come together. There's little doubt that the Giants' Brad D'Aloiso and Baltimore's Matt Stover, who once wore the Giant blue, by the way, both have run through their mind the scenario of being in the position to have one kick to win the Super Bowl, just like happened at Super Bowl 25 here in Tampa. It's only happened, really, twice before. 30 years ago, Baltimore won with a 32-yard field goal from Jim O'Brien, and the decade and a day ago, Scott Norwood's wide right giving the Giants their first Super Bowl title. Greg Garber sits down with the only 2 men who truly know what the kickers might go through later this evening.
I just had this pure concentration going.
That time period is so short, so it really is almost on autopilot.
I was out there just thinking about keep your head down, watch the ball fall through, and nothing else entered into my mind.
Your head's down, and you know the spot that where the holder has put his fingertip.
It was really a good kick. Probably my best kick ever.
Young Jim O'Brien, a rookie. And the kick is up. The kick is good. Jim O'Brien with 5 seconds.
Now Norwood tries to kick his longest ever on grass, 47 yards.
Had plenty of distance, I knew that, but I could see that it was holding the line that was wide.
No good. Wide right.
1 miss, 1 make, 1 GOAT, 1 hero.
My 15 minutes of fame is revisiting me, but I really don't, I don't think about it that often, no. It's just, it's not a part of my present consciousness.
Just a tremendous intensity of the moment and a great letdown. I think no kickers probably felt the pressure of a kick of that magnitude.
On the day after he missed, Buffalo gave the heartbroken place kicker a warm reception.
You know, we're struggling with this right now, and you know who I am, but I know I've never felt more loved than right now.
Norwood played the next year in Super Bowl 26 and then was released. The Bills were blown out in 2 more Super Bowls, but it was Norwood who became history's scapegoat. O'Brien was a rookie when he beat Dallas. Only 3 years later, he too was out of football.
You don't realize that's the pinnacle. And then looking back on it, what else are you going to do after kicking a game winner in the Super Bowl as a rookie? There's not much else you can do.
20 Super Bowls after his kick, O'Brien watched on television as Norwood attempted to match his feat.
I think I actually cried a little because I felt so badly for him. I was rooting for him to make it, even though it would eclipse my record. Hey, so what? But because I hate to see a fellow place kicker, even though he is a soccer kicker, miss a kick.
I think the word empathy, heartfelt, that probably did that, maybe put himself out there. Certainly, no pun intended, in my shoes, perhaps.
I still kind of refuse to think about what it would have been like had I missed it. It wasn't in my vocabulary or my thought patterns to think about missing it, and nor was it in Scott's until it happened.
We can feel for that kicker probably more than others. We know the greatness of the position, but also that it carries a heavy burden at times, and one that's often overemphasized. Quote unquote GOAT, probably not a fair representation. When you lose a game and when they call you the hero that you won a game, is not really true either.
Looking back, I wish I'd played longer and taken it a little more seriously, but it's not to be. Probably been better had we not gotten the Super Bowl my first year for my career, but I'll take it the way it turned out. It works for me.
O'Brien's joy is balanced by Norwood, and it's somewhat refreshing to see Scott talk about the missed kick. He's rarely done interviews about the topic. That was just his 5th, but he was here in Tampa this week, and you hope in some ways it's perhaps cathartic that he returns to this city. By the way, the Giants kicker, Brad D'Aloiso, he was a rookie with Norwood in 1991. They were teammates. Would Brad be in those shoes today?
Coming up on Countdown. New York took a chance on Kerry Collins, and it's paid off. Ford talks to the Giants QB about what it took to turn his life around. And Mike Singletary's Bears were the stingiest in football. That was before Ray's Ravens took a shot at the record books. Next, the Hall of Famer takes on the Defensive Player of the Year.
A few years ago. And the letters TRL are just about synonymous with BSB. If you don't know what that is, it's Backstreet Boys. Please welcome our friend Kevin Richardson from the Backstreet Boys. Kev? Great to see you, man.
Good to be here.
How are you?
I'm great.
You are a huge football fan, this I know.
Big football fan.
Is it great? You guys have been out on the road. Is it great to come? Orlando's just pretty much home for you guys.
Yeah.
What does it feel like to come home amongst all this excitement here in Tampa?
Feels incredible. This is Nick's hometown, so feels incredible to be here.
Awesome. Where are the guys? I know you're going to be singing just before the kickoff.
Yeah, we were supposed to have more of the fellas here with me this morning, but a couple of them pussed out on me this morning, so they're
sleeping.
Still in bed.
Yeah, well, it's nice of you to stop.
Angry at 'em.
Hey, nice of you to stop by, though, Kev.
I'm glad to be here.
Big fan of the show. And you ready for the Star Spangled Banner? Tricky song to
Yeah.
sing. You know the lyrics?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, been
studying them.
Been listening to them as I fall asleep, so they're just in my subconscious.
Awesome. It's great to have you here. Don't move. We got to get to number 7 right now. Probably the hottest R&B group out right now from the movies, Charlie's Angels. Let's watch Destiny's Child, Independent Women, Part 1 at 7 on TRL here on CBS.
Question, tell me what you think about me. I buy my own diamonds and I buy my own rings.
Bandmates, Nick Carter has a birthday today, actually. Nick is 21 today?
He is 21. He is legal today.
Oh,
What's out?
That's a frightening thought. What do the Backstreet Boys have planned for Nick's birthday? You guys gonna do something?
We're actually having a party tonight after the Super Bowl for Nick. We got a day off tomorrow, so.
What do you get somebody like Nick? He has everything.
I know.
Earplugs,
We've been racking our brains trying to figure something out. But we got a couple ideas tucked away.
Good.
I'm not sure, though.
We got to talk football. We're going to do that in a second. Guys, we got to take a break. Even though the channel's different, the number's the same. Give us a call at 888-311-4343. It is just such a gorgeous day here in Tampa. So exciting for Super Bowl 35. TRL thrilled to be on to kick off Super Bowl Sunday on CBS. We'll be right back with the halftime performers Aerosmith. Jennifer Lopez is going to perform for us. It's all ahead, Super Bowl Sunday edition of TRL. We'll be right back. Quest Live on CBS from Tampa Bay, Florida, site of Super Bowl 35. Carson Daly under the sun and having such a great time. The overhead views there from the Radio Shack Skycam system, which is just amazing. And we're back and hanging with Kevin Richardson from the Backstreet Boys to be performing the national anthem just before game time. Kevin, I know you spend a lot of time on a tour bus when you're out on the road with the boys. You caught the whole football season. I know you're a huge football fan. What do you expect from today's show? Who are you looking to win?
I'm feeling the Giants.
Yeah?
Feeling the Giants. They handled Minnesota, and I think they're going to handle the Ravens.
Very good.
That's my prediction.
That's, I think, a lot of the consensus out here. Let's get into number 6 before we get to J-Lo's performance. At 6 is the duet from Ricky Martin and Christina Aguilera. This actually is called Nobody Wants to Be Lonely is the name of it. Ricky actually performed this last night, a part of Super Bowl celebration here in Tampa. Kevin, what do you think of this as a duet?
I think it's cool. I think anytime two artists, can get through the politics and actually do a collaboration, I think it's great.
Anybody you have an eye on that you'd like to do a duet with?
Oh no, we actually did a show with Shania Twain. It'd be cool to actually record something with her on a record, or Annie Lennox or somebody like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, very cool. Christina and Ricky there at 6. I think this is what everybody's waiting for. At 5 today on our countdown is Love Don't Cost a Thing from Jennifer Lopez. She's going to perform that one in just a little bit. But off the new record, J-Lo, she's here to perform it today. Tampa Bay, you ready for this? Performing Play. Please welcome Jennifer Lopez to TRL.
Hold it now.
J-Lo! Awesome, thank you. Doing play. What do you think about that, Kevin? Great performance, wasn't it?
Very great. I like her uniform. Nice uniform.
I know you do. You're rooting for the Giants. Enjoy the game. Thanks for stopping by. Sing for the Backstreet Boys doing the national anthem. We got to take a break. More to come from TRL live from Tampa on CBS. We'll be right back with the Kings of Rock, Aerosmith, as they prepare for the halftime gig. We'll also be checking in with Atlanta Falcons running back Jamal Anderson. As you see there, Dirty Bird. We'll be right back with more TRL on CBS after this.
MTV's TRL at the Super Bowl, presented by Blockbuster.
Joining us now, we are live in Tampa. You're watching TRL live on CBS. I'm Carson Daly, and we are thrilled to have you on this spectacular Super Bowl Sunday, Giants-Ravens at Raymond James Stadium, and we're giving you a show. Jennifer Lopez performed minutes ago, and she joins us now on stage.
Hi, baby.
Hi, hello. How you doing, baby?
I'm good. I'm good.
This is just incredible. Jennifer Lopez, I'll say it because, you know, I know a few people in the business.
Yeah.
And word to my camp was that you do have the #1 record and movie in America at the same time.
I don't know. It's not official yet, but...
That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Okay.
I can say.
Yeah.
If the planets align that indeed were true, which I believe it is.
Yes.
How do you feel? That's just...
I'm good. I just want to thank everybody out there for that. Thank you.
Are you enjoying the Super Bowl festivities?
I am. I love football. So I grew up with football. My father was a big football fan, so it was every Sunday in front of the TV for us.
I wish the players looked more like you. I'll tell you that.
In the uniform?
Yeah. Viewership would be through the roof. You know, Jennifer, you're going to be doing a show for MTV called Snowed In next week. One of the shows that J-Lo is doing is like where 100 guys compete for to narrow down to one to have a date with you. It's called Celebrity Dream Date.
Yeah.
How crazy did that get?
It was crazy. I didn't know that people would really get that crazy just to hang out with me, you know?
Yeah, well, they're crazy here in Tampa for you.
Wild, but it was good. It was good. It was fun.
Dave is on the phone live in Maryland. Dave, are you there?
Coach Dave, what's up, brother?
What's up, Dave? How you doing, man? We're here with J-Lo. Do you have a question?
Oh, yeah. Jennifer, first of all, I am a big, huge fan of yours.
Mwah! Love you. Go ahead.
I just have one question. You're an awesome dancer. You're an awesome singer, an awesome actress. How are you as an athlete?
As an athlete, I'm good. I'm good at most sports except basketball. I suck at basketball. Suck. But softball, football, all the other stuff I'm good at.
Thank you, Dave. Enjoy the Super Bowl Sunday, man.
Carson, you rock, man.
Thanks, brother. Have a good one.
All right, brother.
Later. All right, J-Lo, you're gonna perform for us again.
Yes.
Stick tight. You know how TRL works. We got to get to the next video at 4 from Britney Spears. It's called Stronger. Britney, of course, is right now getting ready to join NSYNC, Aerosmith, and others as a part of the Super Bowl halftime show. The halftime show this year, with MTV's involvement, I think just going to be something, a memory of a lifetime. It's just going to be unbelievable. This is Stronger, the latest video of Britney Spears, which was requested by NFL players and everybody here at the NFL Experience. You like that Britney song, J-Lo?
Yeah, I like that.
All right.
Stronger. Stronger is better.
That's right. At number 4 was Britney. As I mentioned, for the halftime show, Aerosmith, one of the acts. I had a chance to catch up with them earlier in the week. Here's what they're planning for the Super Bowl. Here's Aerosmith.
Well, we got a phone call a couple of months ago and said, do you guys want to take a chance on being the sacrificial lambs at halftime this year? And we said, well, who's involved? They said, well, MTV. Well, I think we'll take a shot. It's just been a lot of fun. We've been rehearsing all week, preparing for today. And I think the rehearsal's been the best part of it.
When it was presented to us, you know, we've seen other halftime shows in, you know, a la Las Vegas, you know, big brick-a-brack, firecracker, sis, boom, ba. And at first thing we suggested was get 5,000 people on the field, and let's lower that stage some. Enough of the rock gods and the unapproachable this and that. So to get down in there and the people, for the people, and of the people, and just rock out.
I guarantee you Aerosmith will rock halftime. Coming up in just about 5 or 6 hours, we're back. Joining me from the Atlanta Falcons, Jamal Anderson, everybody. Say hello.
What's up, what's up, what's up, what's up?
Got the bling bling. All right.
Nice jersey. I like it.
I know.
I like it.
Oh, come here for a second.
Right.
Jamal, of course, in '99 was in the Super Bowl with the Denver Broncos. We need to know what is going on in the locker room right now with the Baltimore Ravens and the Giants. What's going in their minds?
That's a lot of mental preparation going on right now. The guys are trying to focus and concentrate on what they have to do on the field. I mean, you got all the hype. You got MTV, you got CBS, you got everything going on around you. But the most important thing is you try to focus on the game and visualize just like making good plays, coming out and doing your thing and trying not to worry about everything else going on. It's a tough thing to do, though.
Yeah, it certainly is. TRL is all about music. Is there, what do you listen to when you're in a locker room? What are they listening to right now to get them going?
I would say like 95% of guys have headphones on, or they listen to stuff in the locker room. Like me going to games, this is Mobb Deep, Jay-Z, JD. I'm all hip-hop, So that's how I do it, I get hyped up. I mean, I remember when I was back in high school, I used to listen to Metallica. I mean, I rock whatever, yeah.
And some guys listen to jazz and
exactly.
country
Everybody
to bring them down.
Everybody's different,
Good. All right, well, you're the man right here.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, let's go into number 3 right now. We've got, who else but the Backstreet Boys. This is a huge video for them on the countdown. It's called The Call. It's at 3 on TRL here live on CBS. Of Raymond James Stadium here at the NFL Experience, having just a blast. Hope you're enjoying Super Bowl Sunday. One of the tough things for Super Bowl, obviously, the tickets, just about impossible to get. We actually scored an extra pair of tickets, and since TRL is here at the Super Bowl, we decided that we thought we would bring music and sports even closer together, and we went out and we found a diehard Ravens fan. This is Fan Man over here, who's just a legend in Baltimore. Fan Man, what's the problem? Why are you upset? Why do you need these tickets?
I drove 1,000 miles to get here. I'm 200 yards away from seeing my Ravens win the Super Bowl, and I need a ticket.
Okay, there's Fan Man. Now we found a young lady named Bridget. Bridget's just dying to see NSYNC. You're a huge NSYNC fan.
I am huge. I love NSYNC. I've seen them 3 times in concert. NSYNC kicks butt! Woo!
Bridget doesn't even care about the football game.
No.
And you don't care about NSYNC. We have some tickets. Here's what we're going to do, a little trivia contest to determine who's going to get them. Here's the catch. We're going to ask Fan Man questions about boy bands, a topic I'm sure he'll struggle with. And we're going to ask Bridget questions about football. Okay? You'll have 60 seconds on the clock. You can pass if you want, and you get a point for each correct answer. Whoever has the most correct answers obviously gets it, all right? You guys get it, and don't help out if you're in the room. Bridget, we'll start with you. We'll have a minute on the clock. Again, football trivia for you, and we'll begin. A football field is how many feet long?
Pass.
300 feet is the answer. The Baltimore Ravens beat who in the AFC Championship game?
Pass.
Oakland Raiders is the answer. A touchdown is worth how many points?
6 points.
That's correct.
Yes.
The 0-yard line is also known as what?
The end zone.
Correct answer is goal line. True or false, an onside kick is against the rules?
True.
No, that's false. It's not against the rules. A Hail Mary is an offensive or defensive play?
Defensive.
No, that's offensive. True or false, it is against the rules to grab an opposing player's face mask while making a tackle?
True.
Yes, that's indeed correct. In a football game, each team has how many players on the field?
11.
That's good. I'm shocked. 11. In order to get a first down, the offense must move the ball how many yards past the original line of scrimmage?
10.
That's good. That's 4 for Bridget on the football. Not bad. You came on strong there at the end. Fan Man, we'll see how you do in a second. Let's get to the number 2 most requested video from the NFL players and everybody here at the NFL Experience in Tampa. Nice work. Here's Madonna at 2 with Don't Tell Me on TRL.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm Dusty Ziegler from the New York Giants, and I voted for Madonna because she put the grr and swinger, baby. Yeah.
Don't Tell Me from Madonna is at number 2 on TRL. We got to take a break. When we get back, we'll see if the day that Fan Man had to study boy bands paid off. Bridget, so far, pretty good. 4, the number to beat for Super Bowl tickets here in Tampa. Plus, Rob Schneider's going to come and hang. Colleen from Survivor gives us the 411 on the tailgate party situation. And another performance from J-Lo. We'll be right back with TRL.
MTV's TRL at the Super Bowl, presented by
From the Radio Shack Skycam system, which is unbelievable. Here, hey, how are you? Here at the Raymond James Stadium, TRL live on CBS. Great to have you. Joining us this Super Bowl Sunday afternoon. Tickets, as I mentioned, very difficult to come by. These right here, not easy to get, and we're playing for them right now. We've got 2 fans, one an NSYNC fan, one a football fan. Trivia is what they're doing. They're battling it out. Bridget, the NSYNC fan, answered 4 correct questions about football. That's the score to beat, Fan Man. All right. Fan Man, what did you do to prepare? I mentioned we gave you guys about a day.
Well, we got on the internet, scoured the groups.
You know nothing about boy bands.
Nothing.
Did you go pick up some magazines, read up?
Got a few, looked at those.
I know you want these tickets, Fan Man.
I do.
I know you do. I know this is killing you.
I do.
I know you do. Same rules for you. 1 minute on the clock, Fan Man. 4 is the number. The minute you get 5, you'll take it, okay? But you have a minute, 1 point for each correct answer. You can pass. Keep that in mind. And the minutes on the clock, let's begin. What group recorded the hit Bye, Bye, Bye?
NSYNC.
That's correct. What group's latest album is titled Black and Blue?
Pass.
Backstreet Boys is the answer. NSYNC's Justin Timberlake goes out with what pop star?
Britney Spears.
That's correct. Nick Lachey is a member of what group?
Backstreet Boys?
No, 98 Degrees is the correct answer. What band recorded the song Ooh, It's Kinda Crazy?
O-Time.
Soul Decision is the correct answer. What boy band portrayed themselves as marionettes in a music video?
NSYNC.
That's correct. Nice guess. I'll say a name, you tell me what band they're in. Nick Carter.
Pass.
Backstreet Boys is the answer. Jacob Underwood.
Pass.
O-Town is the answer. Joey Fatone.
NSYNC.
That's correct. Howie Duro.
Backstreet Boys.
That's correct.
Oh, you got it. Baltimore Fan Man is in the house.
You got it. Fan Man.
Get better.
There you go, Fan Man. He drove from Baltimore. The guy's a legend in the stadium. He has his own fan official card. You have no idea how excited he is. We just won tickets on TRL to go to the Super Bowl. Bridget, thank you very much. You did a great job. High five, buddy. Have a great time. Let's get into the #1 video right now as voted on by the fans and the players here. We'll get to the video in a second. We'll pause now as Fan Man goes nuts. More live on CBS TRL. We'll be right back. Another performance from Jennifer Lopez and Colleen Haskell shows us the tailgate action. Tampa!
MTV's TRL at the Super Bowl is presented by Blockbuster. Blockbuster has the latest and greatest in video games, so you can try them before you buy them. Hershey's. Be sure to check out the Hershey's $1 Million Kit. And by Saving Silverman, a new film from Columbia Pictures.
You just missed it. Fan Man, a guy drove from Baltimore, an incredible Baltimore Ravens fan, just won tickets to the Super Bowl as we are live in Tampa Bay, Florida. With excitement everywhere, I'm Carson Daly. Welcome back to our show on CBS. And a reminder, immediately following this show, it'll be the Phil Simms 2000 All-Iron Team. Be sure and check that out. And during that show, they'll be holding the Hershey's $1 Million Kick, where a guy will attempt to kick a field goal for $1 million, and lots of excitement coming up on CBS. My next guest has come a long way since working in the copier room. Please welcome our friend from Saturday Night Live, now incredible actor, Rob Schneider, everybody. Rob? right. What's happening, man? How you doing?
You're an animal.
You can do it. You're an animal. You can do it. How's it going, man? It's great to see you.
Good to see you.
This is awesome. Super Bowl excitement,
Are you kidding
energy.
me? It's unbelievable.
We're actually, we're live. We've got your co-star in this movie, The Animal, Colleen Haskell. How was she to work with?
She's unbelievable. She's America's sweetheart. What a cutie.
And she plays your love interest in the movie. What's
I
happening
get to kiss her. She's unbelievable.
Really? What was that like?
Nice.
Nice.
Nice, very
you
nice.
You can do it.
You can do it. I did it.
Awesome. Well, the tailgate party, we got to go to her right now. She's standing by. We want to see how the fans are getting ready for the game. Colleen, it's you, babe.
Absolutely insane. On my left, I got
Pat from Baltimore.
All right, Pat, and is this your car?
Yeah, my buddy Ray and Brett here. We drove down in this authentic '67 Volkswagen, painted up in Ravens colors. We're ready for the game, baby.
Oh man. Okay, wait. What do you got to eat in there?
We don't have anything to eat. We're just drinking, baby. Liquid, baby. Drinking all day.
All right. How does that compare to you, Bet?
Oh, that's really sad because we're all about food. This is Rich from Walter, New Jersey, and I'm wearing my big blue like the chef Robbie here is. And it's going to be great. We got the chicken, we got the shrimp, we got it all going. We got steaks.
Ah, it looks awesome. It looks great. All right, final predictions. We need scores.
28-10, Ravens take because Dilfer's back, baby. Yeah!
I can't complain. All right, and
now remember, it ain't the color purple and it ain't Dilfer. Last time we played a color purple team, it was 41-0, and it's going to be even more.
Oh, nice shot. I'm for the Ravens personally, but we'll see what happens. Back to you, Carson.
Yeah, they're going nuts. About 5 hours away from game time. Rob Schneider, The Animal, is out June 8th, and it's a fun movie. And you're a great actor. I always laugh at your movies, and this is one of the best I understand.
That's my funniest movie. I play a guy who gets in a crazy car crash. Crazy scientist puts him back with the animal parts.
Well, there's a bunch of animals here in Tampa Bay. Who are you rooting for quickly before we go?
I'm a San Francisco Giants fan, so I'm going with Giants.
There you go. Right here, buddy. Great to see you on this Super Bowl Sunday. We got to get to the #1 video voted by the fans and the players. Who do you think? In sync. Get ready for the halftime show. Here is the live version.
Let's get ready.
Of this, I promise you, #1 on CRL here at CBS.
Tears your eyes, and all that surround you are secrets tonight. I'll be your strength, I'll give you hope, keeping your faith that's gone. The one you should call. Standing there all alone, and I will take you in my arms and hold you right where you belong.
I think the storyline is quite as juicy because he's not actually playing the Buccaneers. But Dilfer does admit that his 6-year roller coaster ride here was so bumpy at times, the fans so harsh, that there were times his wife couldn't even come to the game. This week, Dilfer shared with me his emotions from when he first stepped back foot on this field and how he thinks he's matured as a person and as a player since he left.
Dilfer running for his life, throws it downfield, picked off.
He is looking like an amateur.
So that's another huge mistake by the Buccaneer quarterback.
I stood there and I looked around and I looked where my family used to sit, where I used to have a group of kids that I would send to the games where they sat. And you know, it was like one of those movies where those flashbacks, you know, they start going one after another, all the times I'd been in there, and it had some great memories, and I'm thankful that none of the bad things came to me.
But Dilfer has many demons of football past in Tampa. He did have 2 21 touchdown seasons and a Pro Bowl appearance, but his interceptions and inconsistencies drove fans nuts and drove management to say thanks, but no thanks when his option came up last year.
You take the high road publicly, but does it hurt inside privately? Because you always say, I have no bitterness about playing here.
It hurts. I'm not saying it doesn't hurt. I've never said it didn't hurt. The point is, when the decision was made to let me go, I knew that I was at the crossroads of my career, whatever that means. I knew I needed to get better. I knew that I needed to put some of the baggage behind me and move on.
Dilfer moved to Baltimore as a backup. Tony Banks had the Ravens flying at 5-1, but when the offense stalled during a month-long TD drought, Dilfer got the nod.
We got to let Trent try to do something here now. Okay, we got you, Tony.
The Ravens have won 10 of 11 with Dilfer at the helm. Perhaps the most pivotal game, November 12th at Tennessee. Late in the fourth, Dilfer threw an interception return for a score that put the Titans up by 6. And the football demons surfaced again.
Everybody said you give him enough time, he'll ruin it for you. He'll do something crazy that'll cost you the ball game.
I said, this is a great opportunity. You're going to overcome this. And I began to get excited about going back out on the field.
Hey, I'm going to let you do it this week. I want to do it. I want to do it. You ain't coming out of the game.
When I got into the huddle, the most special thing happened. I had 10 guys looking at me with total belief in their eyes. That's the first time that's ever happened in my career, where all 10 of them looked right back at me and had no doubts that we were going to go down and score.
Dilfer rolling out to his right, looking, throwing, touchdown!
It just symbolized so much more than winning a football game to me. It was overcoming years of people doubting.
I'm sure you've dreamed about holding that Super Bowl trophy above your head. Tell me about Trent Dilfer's dream.
Obviously, as a kid, early in my career, you have the dreams of being the guy that holds up the trophy and you're an MVP and all that, but I think my motivation for that has changed. I'm looking to do it so I can look around at the guys. I can look into their eyes and say, you know what, we did it. We did it. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about all of us.
All right, so Dilfer has helped his team get to this stage, but he still has one more audition. That's tonight because, remember, he only signed a one-year deal with the Ravens. He's a free agent after tonight. And while there's a popular theory out there that Brad Johnson might sign with the Ravens, remember, he and Brian Billick have an outstanding relationship from their days in Minnesota. Trent said to me, yes, Brian has said he would like to keep me here, and that once the season's over, Ravens management and Dilfer's agent are going to get together. Jim?
All right, thank you, Bonnie. That look of total belief. He talked about they've all had it this week, the Ravens. A reminder, go to SuperBowl.com to get the inside scoop on today's game from Super Bowl legends Phil Simms and Bill Walsh. Plus, you can hear from Tiki Barber and Chris McAllister only on SuperBowl.com, powered by CBSSportsLine.com. And later on the show, Kerry Collins shares his inspirational comeback. Sting will perform live on the field, and we'll talk football with the 43rd President of the United States. All that and more as the NFL Today's Super Bowl Today continues.
Coming up on the Super Bowl Today.
As Super Bowl Sunday has become an unofficial national holiday, it's only fitting that we check in with the man who'll be watching Super Bowl 35 from his new home at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington. Earlier, we had the privilege of speaking with President George W. Bush, and I asked him if he had any time to get caught up in the Super Bowl excitement.
I've been paying attention to it, Jim. I'm a big sports fan. I'm associated with the baseball world, but I love football as well. I can't remember missing any Super Bowls, and I look forward to watching the game tonight.
Listen, I know you've been really busy, but how much have you watched the NFL playoffs leading up to the Super Bowl?
I've watched some. You know, I've caught glimpses. I know, for example, how powerful the defenses are of the two clubs. I'm fully aware of the Baltimore Ravens, defense being ranked one of the best ever in NFL history.
Listen, do you think the game is going to be as close as the election was? How do you see it?
Nothing can be that close.
What do you think?
Well, I think it may. I think it may depend upon a dangling field goal.
A dangling field goal.
I think it's going to be a great game. I can't wait to watch it. It's interesting to see whether or not the predictions of a defensive struggle come true.
Mr. President, you are a man who obviously appreciates a great defense, and we have two in this game coming up.
Right.
Break down this game for me. I know you can do it.
Well, I think any big game that is prone to be close depends upon turnovers and breaks, and we'll see which team gets the breaks. I got to tell you, I've been incredibly impressed by Baltimore's defense.
Well, listen, with you now being in Washington, does that mean you lean a little bit close to the Baltimore side with the close proximity there, Mr. President?
No. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan and will be a Houston Texan fan. I will be vigorously rooting for the Cowboys and the Texans.
Well, listen, how about a prediction before we go? What do you think?
It's hard. I don't know, Jimmy. I just don't know. I can't predict. I think close low scoring, and I'm not sure.
This Super Bowl is the first major sporting event of your presidency. What would you like to say to the players?
I look forward to welcoming the sports teams from around the country to the White House. I look forward to also reminding the athletes that come here to say that a lot of kids are looking at you. And it's going to be important for these athletes, pro and amateur, to set good examples for youngsters. Teach youngsters they need to be responsible for their decisions they make in life by behaving responsibly themselves.
Mr. President, on this day where really the whole nation kind of just stops and watches a football game, how about a message to all the people who will be out there watching today?
Well, my message is love your neighbor. Remember that our society is a society that depends upon the compassion of each individual. It's not only love your family, but when you find a neighbor in need, give a neighbor a helping hand.
Thank you, Mr. President. Enjoy the game.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, the message, love your neighbor. Won't be a lot of love on the field here in Tampa today, I promise you, but love your neighbor. Always a good thought, and we thank the President. As you heard, too close to call, he says. Now, during today's coverage of Super Bowl 35, CBS Sports will introduce a new technology called iVision. It provides panoramic coverage similar to the special effects in the hit movie The Matrix.
Here at the Super Bowl, 30 robotic cameras have been mounted on the scoreboard and all along the upper deck at intervals of 7 degrees. Each camera feeds into one of the 30 specially designed digital recording devices. The images are then computer calibrated to instantaneously show any spot on the playing field from all angles within the camera's 220-degree range.
iVision is in its infancy, and we're just beginning to find out the power of this new technology. Our engineers, Larry Barbasolis and Craig Farrell, started working on this 1.5 years ago, and as we got into the project, we knew that we needed more help from the outside.
Credit Professor Takeo Kanade of Carnegie Mellon with designing the software that blends 30 cameras into one dynamic panorama.
This is a gigantic robotic system. You have to have perfect idea of the direction, position of the cameras, and the relationship of the amount of zoom, amount of focus to the command that you give from the computer. And that is one of the hardest jobs.
We think this is going to have a tremendous impact on the way sports gets broadcast going forward in all sports. And we think that PVI will take the same kind of video modifying technologies that we use today and use them to enhance the performance of iVision.
As important as the breakthrough three-dimensional replay you'll see in the Super Bowl is Core's ability to help blog, store, search, and stream what we think are exciting moments in the Super Bowl and other sports as well.
All right, here it is. This is an example during the warm-ups taken just a moment ago. The pass from Banks to Davis, and look at the way it can whip around. We're all looking forward to it. And by the way, it can be used in instant replay situations in the case of a challenge, Craig.
I think referees going to like the chance to go in there and really look at it and see what's going on, how it affects the game. But you know what? You look at all these things, and you really have to say that you've got a feel for the game.
I think the iVision should be used with my group when they go to these Super Bowl parties. You get to see everybody all the time. That'd be fun.
You always did go to be seen, to see and be seen. All right, Coach. Reminder, follow today's Super Bowl game online with live stats and scoring, and submit questions for our in-game Cybercast featuring Jamal Anderson, Gil Brandt, and Jeff Hostetler. Just go to superbowl.com, powered by CBSSportsLine.com. And don't forget that rock superstars Aerosmith and pop superstars NSYNC will be performing later as MTV presents the E-Trade Super Bowl 35 halftime show. And next, here we go. Marcus Allen will visit with the Giants running back Tiki Barber. Could be a game breaker today. Also visit with his twin brother Rondé and the secret of their success. It's dear old mom, of course.
That's why you lift all that weight. That's why you do all that shit.
Beautiful day here in the Tampa area. They call it here the natives a 20-minute city because everything you need is located within 20 minutes distance. All right, welcome back to the Super Bowl today, and we close in on about 1 hour to kick off for the Ravens and the Giants, and I'm joined now by Marcus Allen on the pirate ship, and Well, Super Bowl 18 played right here in Tampa. You were the MVP, and all your friends were so happy for you. You're one of the honorary captains out there today for the coin toss. Congratulations.
Well, Jim, it is certainly an honor, and especially the fact that I'm out there with Coach Parcells, Otis Anderson, and Tom Flores. This game right here, the memories that are forged today will last for a lifetime. Now, this game is not just any other game. This is the Super Bowl. This is football heaven out here. This is unlike any other game.
It really is. And you still get asked about that incredible run you had for a touchdown in that Super Bowl. Hey, listen, you had a chance to spend some time with Tiki, Rondé, and their mother, the Barbers. What a family, huh?
Wonderful family. And as many of you know, Tiki and Rondé Barber are identical twins, but their path to NFL success has been unlike anyone else's.
I think the great thing about this game for me is I have everyone here for me. My mom is here, my brother is here, my wife and my brother's fiance. Everyone is here. So it's kept me grounded.
Now, obviously, it hurts a little that you're not out there playing, but you have to have a special feeling for your brother.
Definitely. It's unbelievable. I'm sitting in the stands in the Philadelphia and the Minnesota games, and I'm sitting there shaking. I'm like, man, it's cold out here or something, right? But, you know, I know inside I'm shaking because I'm nervous for him, you know. I get excited for him.
While their emotions may be identical, their mom knows they're very different at heart.
Rondé's name is Firstborn Son, because he is, and Tiki's name is Fiery Tempered King. I go into the nursery to see them, and Tiki was kicking and screaming and pulling, and it was really kind of sad because in the incubator you couldn't hear any of that. You could just see his little fist going. Like I said, from day one they've been fighters. They have really been fighters. They were born prematurely, and I was told at one point that they would never play contact sports because of some problems related to the prematurity. And look at them now. They built lives for themselves, and I'm so happy for that. From the time they played t-ball, actually, they understood that they were to come home from school, get the homework done, or at least start on it. So that way, I could leave my job, swing by the house, pick them up, take them to practice, and be there at practice with them. Of course, a lot of times I'd be sitting in the stands doing work, but I was there. Bring them back home, we'd sit down, we always had dinner together, we'd go over the homework together, and they'd go to bed, and I'd go back to work.
I don't remember a lot from when I was really young, but some of the things I remember were going to bed and waking up in the middle of the night and just start crying because my mom wasn't there because she was out working. And you think about all the sacrifices that she made to take care of us. And, you know, now that we're where we are, we can take care of her.
It was tough for Geraldine's sons to watch her work 2 jobs and put herself through college and eventually graduate school. But all that paled in comparison to what awaited them.
We've had our challenges. I am a cancer survivor. I'm very proud to say that I am a cancer survivor. And with each of the guys, they were so much inspiration to me.
She never missed a game. And,
never missed a game.
Even through chemotherapy and everything, you never missed a game?
I never missed a game, home or away.
That must have inspired you guys.
It really is. You think about all the troubles you go through and how hard it is to get ready to play a football game, and you think about, you know, there's so many more issues bigger than this game. You know, I can put it all on the line for 2 hours. My mom maybe have to put it on for the rest of her life. Someone says, my mom's not going to be able to fight cancer and beat it. The hell with you too. We're going to beat cancer and we're going to go on with our lives. You know, our life has been a challenge. I love challenges. I wouldn't play this sport if I didn't like to be challenged.
Well, Jim, this is a great story. They're so close. They say if one sneezes, the other catches the cold. That closest led Tiki to go over there almost every single night after meetings and after practice. I asked Rondé to give him some advice. He said one thing: don't fumble.
He actually has had some trouble this year fumbling the football.
He certainly has.
9 times. He's wearing that cast on his left arm. But Tiki Barber, the first day ever spent without his twin, was the first day he went to training camp for the New York Giants. Thank you so much, Marcus. Still ahead, David Letterman with a special title game top 10 list that's coming your way on the Super Bowl today. Next door and taking a good look here at Raymond James Stadium. Here in Tampa, that Super Bowl 25 a decade ago that the NFL experience concept was first developed. You know, the average year-round temperature here in Tampa is 72, and that's what it was last hour here at the Super Bowl, right on target. And right now, let's check in with Bill McAtee. We had the third-round coverage yesterday of the Phoenix Open by Xerox. Let's go out there for an update. Here's Bill McAtee.
The sun has returned to the 2001 Phoenix Open after a day of rain, hail, and temperatures in the low 40s. Always one of the most popular events on tour, and what a week it's been. Hello, everyone. I'm Bill McAtee. Welcome.
We welcome you back to our pirate ship in dry dock at Super Bowl 35, and here it comes. Time now for a special top 10 list from David Letterman.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Super Bowl top 10. Here we go. Okay, the category. Top 10 signs you're attending a lame Super Bowl party. Many of you are right this very moment. Top 10 signs you're at a lame Super Bowl party. Here we go, number 10. By the third quarter, you've suffered a concussion and 2 broken bones. Number 9, yeah, there's a big screen TV, but you're watching the Golden Girls. Number 8, someone already licked the tasty powdery stuff off the Doritos. Number 7, to get in mood for Survivor 2, the house is filled with deadly Australian snakes. Number 6, host answers the door naked except for a strategically placed pom-pom. Number 5, every 30 seconds some old guy asks, which one is Y.A. Tittle? Number 4, you think you hear the halftime gun, then you realize it's just Puff Daddy. Ow, whoa, Nelly. Number 3, all the women look like John Madden. Number 2, guests keep taking your wife to the bedroom for a 2-minute drill. And the number 1 sign, you're attending a lame Super Bowl party. It's tomorrow.
All right, back here in Tampa, Jason Sehorn. How do you think the Giants will today go against the Ravens?
Jimmy, I tell you, I really like their secondary because they got big guys. They got big physical guys. They got to be physical in this football game.
But hey, the one thing that they're worried about here is that defensive line of the Giants. The Ravens are worried that they do a lot of loop and stunts, Randy, that's going to confuse the Ravens offensive line in their scheme.
Well, and don't forget, Trent Dilfer has been knocked out of a couple games. He's come back, but it's not like they protect his quarterback in Baltimore that well.
You know, I think the defenses are so good for both teams, it makes the offenses buckle up and say we might as well be concerned. I think the defense is so good for the Giants, they won't throw the football.
You know, I agree with that a little bit. You know, this is a Giants defense, Jerry, that last week, 2 weeks ago, shut out Minnesota 41-0, and everybody's talking about the Ravens defense.
Right.
They had a marvelous year, but I get the feeling the Giants today want to come out and make a statement about, hey, you guys ignored us for 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
Hey, we'll give you some pom-poms.
Defensively.
Don't you think they feel that way?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, they shut out Minnesota. Who could ever forecast that? All right, a party of 2 coming up. Tony Siragusa and Michael Strahan in a town that's not big enough for both of them. That's next.
Even the best team gives up a few yards, but these guys don't give an inch. 60 Minutes returns next Sunday.
In Tampa, and we welcome you back to the Super Bowl today, presented by Ruffles Flavor Rush. You know, ever since Tony Siragusa of the Ravens and Michael Strahan of the Giants arrived here in Tampa, they've been all business. And that was certainly apparent when the Goose tried to make Stray an offer he couldn't refuse.
This guy's Strahan. He's lucky this is the Super Bowl. It's the only way I would meet this guy. I'm telling you. I don't know if this is a good idea. Boy, I hope he's on time. I don't know if he can be trusted. I don't know if I should trust him or not.
Mike, we both know why we're here.
Yeah, I know why I'm here.
Let's get down to business.
No problem.
Our defense is by far the most dominating defense ever to play the game. Stingiest defense when it comes to points, light me up.
You know what? Our defense, we're greedy. We don't take no for an answer. We impose our will on the other team. I know your offense cannot keep up.
You know, all year, rookie Jamal Lewis, this guy runs through blocks. Little skinny guys you got in your backfield. He's going through them.
Well, Tony, have you watched the 41 points we put up last week? Kerry Collins is better than anybody out there right now. And now he's going to be able to do it against the defense that everybody says is the best. But we all know better, Tony.
Michael. The Denver Broncos. Done. The Oakland Raiders. Done. The Tennessee Titans, who were supposed to be the best. Done. We don't just beat teams, we make them quit.
Tony, the Giants is not just a name. It's who we really are. We crush opposing offenses. And the Ravens are no different.
I'm tired of all this talking, Malone.
You've been doing more talking than I have, big boy. But you know what? Now I'm going to shock you and show you how real defense is played. Watch this guy here. 380 pounds on his back, quarterback down. What are you going to do to stop that? I don't think you have anybody who can counteract that.
Get my tape. Watch this one right here. See this big man coming? Pow! Take a look. He's still on the ground. They thought it was so tenacious, they fined me 10 grand. That's 340 pounds of pure
Tony,
love.
who you fooling?
You're telling me you really think that your guys can go and compete with my guys?
I'm not telling you I think, I'm telling you I know, Tony.
There's only one way me and you are going to settle this, Michael. You know what it is.
I do.
Let's get it on.
A little game of paper football. Strahan and Saragusa. And for those of you who didn't catch it earlier, Saragusa was the first player to arrive here by almost a full hour. He came ahead of the team bus, came in a police car. Giants defense, Ravens defense. Mike, what do you say?
Jimmy, I think the Giants have to stay aggressive. They got to blitz a little bit. They got to get after Dilfer. I think they're going to play awfully good. You know, since the middle of the season, this defense is probably as good as anybody.
Well, let's go at the other end of the spectrum from the big guys. Let's talk about the two kickers. We really haven't spoken about these guys, and usually in a locker room, you're taping up a kicker. But in this particular game, with the tight defenses, I give the edge to Matt Stover of the Ravens. He says he's going to work on slowing down his kick, whereas Brad Del Riso of the Giants is talking about his technique.
I'll have a little something else about the defensive coordinators, Marvin Lewis and John Fox. Carmen Policy of the Cleveland Browns told us he's going to be talking to Fox as soon as possible after the game about coming in for an interview. The Buffalo job's open, the Cleveland's job open. It's a huge audition, Sharon.
And you know what I like about the defensive coordinators? They haven't fallen in the trap. They're talking about the good things these quarterbacks can do. Both quarterbacks sort of been neglected. They can escape from a sack, they have unbelievable courage, and they both can throw the deep corner route. The quarterbacks will be better than everybody thinks they are.
And you look at Trent Dilfer. Can you believe this? He becomes the fourth ex-Tampa Bay quarterback to play in the Super Bowl. Steve Young, Chris Chandler, Doug Williams, and Trent Dilfer now. And there they are. Dalloway's over. Craig mentioned them. This game could very well come down to a winning 3 from one of these two.